back on the street.
That's a Eye of the Tiger.
I know. Took the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. It's the
I am a tiger.
It's the of our rivals. And the last no survivors. And he punching us all with the eye of the tiger. Hey.
There we go. You ever just run through a motherfucker listening to that?
Dun, 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 boom, dun, 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 boom, dun, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. My guy, what's up? What's up? What's up? We back, man. How's it going?
We back. It's going great. I'm actually watching some games right now, unrelated. I've been trying to buy these Asia sneakers for the past month. Completely out of luck. Haven't struck gold yet.
You can't hoop though. What do you need these shoes?
Yo, that might be.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
That's crazy. I've been insulted a couple of times today. That might be the nicest way all day.
Hey, no. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's some of the most shadiest ways one of your coworkers has ever just kind of slighted you and you realized you didn't even pick it up until like later in the day? You know what I'm saying? Like they said some shit.
Yeah.
Off, and then later when you thought about it, you was like, oh, this motherfucker was shooting.
I got to think about it. It's happened a couple times. I've had a colleague say something because my problem is like I have quick retorts. Like I'm very fast on my feet, but sometimes those retorts may be a little too personal compared to what someone said to me. So I've tried to be very thoughtful in the things that I say at work.
So you do believe in going low, not like old Michelle Obama.
Initially, that's why I have to be very, very thoughtful about some of the things I say. Now, there are some colleagues who I'm very close with, or that's okay, but I know who those people are. So I have to be very thoughtful in the things that I say and the comebacks. And sometimes, like I was in the car with a colleague the other day, and they were like, "Please don't touch me." And I wanted to be like, "I'd rather hug baby shit," but I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was not expecting that for where we were going. Why? Yeah. First off, why is your coworker just randomly throwing out, "Please don't touch me"?
So it's a male. We were riding in the car. There was a baby seat. We were in the back seat, so he was in the middle, and I was beside him. There was really no room. So, I think he was just joking. He was like, "Oh, please don't," like, because where we were going, there are a lot of turns, so like there was a lot of swaying back and forth. It was just tight. It was a small car. There was a car seat.
See, here's my thing. I would have looked at him like, don't nobody want to touch you. No.
See, I didn't want to say, like I said, I was about to say I'd rather hug baby shit, but then again, like we not on that kind. Like it's not that cool. So I was just like, okay, I don't want to.
Well, I think one time I forgot where I was working. I had sent one of my coworkers just like hit me up and was like, "Hey, did you see my email?" And I was like, "Sorry, it's been a kind of a busy day. I'm a little behind on Slacks and emails. I'm going to check it out after this meeting that I'm in." And she was like, "That's okay. So, sometimes we're busy, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're." She said, "Sometimes."
Excuse me?
She said, "That's okay. Sometimes we're busy, sometimes we're not. Just let me know when you're able, when you're able to see it, when you're able to read it, and just get back to me whenever you want to."
Excuse me?
I know, right?
You trying to say you're not working for real?
I know, and I was like, "Hold on, what was she trying to say?" Nonetheless, I think the lesson here is that sometimes returning that shade, the timing of the return shade may be even better than the actual shade.
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 186 of Speak On It. Speak On It podcast. I am one half of your usual Tuesday duo. You already know when you see this Nas fade that I should set up the next haircut appointment. I want to get there. But you already know when you see this Nas fade, it could only be one brother, the good brother Losty Mix. Not joined by Brian at FF Junkie, like the thing says, but of course joined by the smoothest bald head on the East Coast, Mr. Danny Ocean. How are we doing, my guy?
I actually shaved my head this morning, so it's extra smooth. I'm doing great. I'm doing
Does
excellent.
your,
It's been a good.
so does yours not? Do you not see the Brian at FF Junkie? Is that showing up for you too?
Uh, where all I see, oh Lord, this happens to me every week, and every week you have to remind me that I need to
It's okay.
change the name.
It's okay, ladies and
Man,
gentlemen. Brian at FF Junkie want to give you a shout out as well as give a shout out to all of our great friends and family here at the Going for Two Live Network. Of course, shout out to Jeff. Jeff, if you're hearing this, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a pretty good show today. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball. We have the NBA Finals officially kicking off on Thursday, so we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that matchup as well as look back at the matchup that ended over the weekend with the Pacers advancing to meet the Oklahoma City Thunder in that NBA Finals that we will preview. So we'll look back at that Pacers and Knicks series and some of the headlines that's coming out today because it's been an interesting day in the Knick world. We'll have a little look. We'll have a little bit look at the WNBA and what's going on there. We will chat a little fantasy. We're getting into that season. I know many mandatory mini camps start next week, so the football world is starting to heat up. They're starting to put pads on. They're starting to get routes run. So this is that time in that dynasty football world where everyone's kind of looking to make trades. I know Kyle and I have been discussing a trade around Jaden Reed and what that may look like. So talk a little bit about that, and then on the back half, we'll use that fantasy talk to go right into some NFL news. We don't have a ton of NFL news. I think everyone's kind of getting in that training off season sort of mode. So I think most of the headlines you're going to hear, if it's not Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers related, it's just about people either retiring, how rookies are looking in the OTAs and the rookie practices, and then some of the other kind of headlines, including, yes, we will talk about Stefon Diggs and whatever that pink substance was.
do you think Aaron Rodgers will get a headline when Aaron Rodgers decides to go to rehab to stop smoking crack?
Say that one.
Like, do you think we'll get the headline when Aaron Rodgers checks into rehab so he can break his crack addiction?
Aaron Rodgers does not smoke crack.
Okay.
He does not smoke crack.
Okay.
Do you still believe in the Madden curse?
Yes.
So you're worried?
To a degree. I think I am a bit worried. But who else was it going to be? This felt inevitable.
I don't know. Why didn't IG Caption Man get it?
Nah, because IG Caption Man didn't jump over someone backwards.
That's true. That is true. All right, well, let's
he gotta be IG Caption Man.
Because that is his name, bro. That's how he be talking. If he was on this show right now, and we asked him if we asked him would he want to, we were like, Mr. Hertz, would you want to be on the cover of Madden? Like, how do you feel about Saquon being the cover of Madden? He'd say some shit like, oftentimes I think the lion that eats the most deserves the brass of the head to stick on the man. I think the way Saquon performed the last season and the way he was able to help lead us to our ultimate goal, which was winning the championship, he deserves for his head to be on the mantle of pantheon of Madden athletes. And you're just sitting there like, all right, G, we get it. That's what I be hearing when I be hearing. I'm like, all right, we get it.
That might be the most accurate. That might be the most accurate Jalen Hurts impression I've ever heard.
Yeah, you distinguish. Black women love you. We get it. Whole team full of black women. We get it. We get it.
All right, touche.
Hey, do you ever see that clip of Plankton from SpongeBob just roasting an entire family? Like, why he go so heavy on him?
Plankton has a lot to be angry about, though, right? Plankton's short. Don't nobody respect him.
Can't get that secret recipe.
Yeah, he kind of like 45, 47 in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I don't even think there's something. I don't think there's anything fancy in them Krabby Patties either. They're probably like it's like just a Wendy's burger.
He probably just used fresh beef. That's it. That's the secret ingredient.
Well, I mean, Burger King uses fresh beef, so maybe plain things should be more like Burger King.
Yeah, but Wendy's is fresh, never frozen, right? That's their whole shtick.
You
I've had,
think you think Wendy's is better than Burger King?
yes.
You sure?
So full disclosure, I haven't had a fast food burger in like 8 years.
All right, great question. So now I want to know, where do you get your burgers from? Like when you wake up and you say, you know what I want for dinner? Just a big old, just a good old fashioned American sloppy made cheeseburger with some additives in it. What you going? Where you going?
So there are a couple places here where I live, some local joints that my wife and I will go to for burgers. I feel like I'm at the age now where I just can't eat anything because my stomach can't handle it because I'm old. So I try to stay away from like really hard processed stuff. So there are a lot of places. I mean, you know where I live. A lot of local burgers, fresh meat. It's more expensive, but it just tastes better.
Name some of these spots because I do know where you live.
So there's a new one. That whenever you're back in town, we can go. You say the word. It's called Easy Burger. Dog, it is like legit the best burger I've ever had in my life. There's so I'm pretty sure there is a, you heard of ZZQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's their sister restaurant. It's legit next door, and I'm 90% sure they use the trimmings from their brisket to make those burgers. If I had to guess, buddy, and the fries, it's will it cost $20? Yes. Will you be satisfied? 1,000%. It's worth every penny.
1/3 pound Black Angus blend of brisket, chuck, and short rib. All burgers are cooked medium well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they use the trimmings from, but maybe not because that's not enough. But the barbecue place is right next door. I am going to go on a strong limb and say stuff from that place was used at the burger joint. Even if the fries are made in tallow, like it's delicious.
See, some days I really miss the 804, and I'm just like, man, maybe I need to come back.
But you know what? I'll eat Five Guys. Five Guys, I feel like is a quality fast food burger. But like when you talk about like your drive-throughs, like your Wendy's, Burger King.
But is Five Guys really considered fast food?
I don't know. It feels very Chipotle-like to me. Like Chipotle is not fast food, but it's not fine dining.
Chipotle ain't fast food, ain't fine dining. It is a laxative. Get ready to go straight to that bathroom.
It's falling. I saw a photo today of what Chipotle used to cost, and I just miss old times. Like you used to get a chicken bowl for $5.25.
Listen, I think we need to really discuss and really talk about the price of inflation and who did this. I think we all know who did this.
Hey man,
listen, let me tell you something. Would you go back in time and give back that check, that stimulus check, if it meant inflation would not have happened?
Yes.
Really?
I mean, the money you would save from then to now would be way more than that stimmy.
You think Don gonna put another one of them out?
Hell no. Let me tell you something. If he talking about giving people another stimmy without anything like a pandemic present, he know he about to lose his office. He knows some shit about to happen. I need to get these people back on my side.
My thing is, if you've seen all the crazy stuff he has kind of passed, why wouldn't you think he wouldn't wake up one day and say, you know what, everyone in this motherfucker need to spend more money, or to spend money, they need money. Everybody, $1,000 checks.
I think he is erratic enough to do that. I don't think that. I feel like that might be one of his last cards. Like shit really going downhill and people really start hating him. He'd be like, you know what,
brother, they already do.
But I'm not to the point where he gonna be giving people $1,000. We got a ways to go before we get there.
I don't know. I think we're already there.
We might be. Kyle said Wendy's is better than Burger King.
Kyle go to Wendy's tonight. I promise you, I don't know if Wendy's. I don't know if a Dave single or double really hitting better than a Whopper.
Oh boy, the rodeo burger at Burger King when I did, and it was on their like little value menu, boy.
My only thing with the Five Guys burgers is a good Five Guys burgers. To really enjoy a Five Guys burger, you have to have less toppings, because more toppings on a Five Guys burger, that motherfucker's gonna fall fall apart fast, and you're gonna be tight.
Yeah, I like lettuce, pickle,
No,
mustard.
I put lettuce on it. I might put mustard on it. Jalapenos, obviously cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That might be it.
Yeah, you can't go too crazy. You can't
Yeah,
go too crazy.
because then you be mad at your burger falling apart. Now you looking stupid in the face.
And the bread be soggy.
Bread be mad soggy. And you gotta sit there and eat all them damn French fries.
For the Cajun fries though,
Who got better fries, Wingstop or Five Guys?
Five Guys.
I don't know, bro. Them Wingstop wings.
I haven't had Wingstop in years. 'Cause I feel like it's a ripoff. I went to Wingstop one time, and I was like, and they tried to charge like 25 cents for extra ranch, and I was like, never again.
Well, I think everywhere is charging more for the sauce.
This was before everyone else did it.
So here's my thing. Now, brother, they got the wing deals, like a boneless wing deal. Get like 20 wings and a fry for like $17.
Okay, I'm listening. How many flavor combinations can I get in the wings? Because that's very important.
Either like 3 or 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know me, I'm always getting that lemon pepper, mango habanero, regular hot, and then I usually get they got another one. It's like a hot honey sort of one,
Oh.
or Asian rub or something. It's like a hot honey rub or something like that. Then my 4, and they fire.
Okay.
Fire.
I might try it. I might you know what this is? This is them apologizing for the charger for that ranch bullshit.
Listen. Well, first off, you crazy for going to Wingstop and getting ranch when blue cheese is sitting right there.
That's crazy. That is the most terrorist thing you have ever said. Blue cheese.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So what you're saying is right now, like Martians got the death beam pointed at Earth.
Yep.
You are eating blue cheese over ranch.
I'm eating
blue cheese.
100 out of 100 times. Let the Martians do what they must. That's crazy.
It must be something in these Philadelphia.
There's only one other human being in my life who eats blue cheese with wings, and that is my father.
Good man.
He is 72 years old.
What's up, OG? What's up, OG? I got some wings. I'll bring some blue cheese through. We're going to eat wings the right way that wings should be ate. Next thing you're going to be telling me is that drums are better than flats.
They are. I'm 100% drums over flats.
What are we doing?
You can eat drums more efficiently than flats.
But flats, that's when you really get that flavor. That's when you get that flavor. See, drums is all meat. It's real meaty. It's not that I got anything against drum. I eat a good drum, but it be so meaty. It's thick around their hips and you eat them damn drums. So you eating some thick ass. You know what I mean? Like why them legs that thick, boy? Why them legs that thick?
And the drums got the gristle. See, you ain't no real eater if you don't know about no gristle.
No idea. They got them gristles, but them flats, they got that crispiness. Especially if you get them crispy flats. Ooh. Why do bone-in lemon pepper wings always taste a million times better than boned-out lemon pepper wings?
The bone adds flavor. The bone do something. I don't know if it keeps the integrity.
The bone adds flavor.
The bone got something to it.
The bone adds flavor.
Last thing before we jump in NBA, something funny. I will not eat blue cheese, but I do love blue cheese crumbles. Sometimes I'll get those on my burger.
All right, but what about blue cheese crumbles on the steak?
Yes, that is elite.
Ooh.
That is elite.
Ooh, I'm telling you, that shit right there, my boy.
That's next level. Now we talking real.
Now we talking. I dated a girl, my ex-girlfriend. Her dad put me onto that.
Yeah, that's rich people shit.
She rich, you think?
I mean, that is how rich people act. Rich people get toppings on their steak. They don't.
Listen, here's the thing. I had never had a topping on a steak before. Put that little blue cheese on. You don't even need the sauce, boy. No. I was in that bit like. When I tell you I cleaned that steak, I was licking the plate. I did almost thought about ordering another steak, but I was like, all right, I definitely won't finish 2 steaks. But oh my goodness.
I wouldn't be. Hey man, I'm anti-steak sauce. I feel like the steak should be able to stand on its own.
Well, not everyone is able to really cook that steak. I think for remember because we were having grill conversations earlier in the year. I think for Christmas this year, I might ask one of my parents to buy me a grill.
Hey dog, get you a little Weber charcoal. They're $80. I've had mine for 7 years. It's still going. Get you a little for it.
The little wait, you're talking about the little small one, right? That you use charcoal with?
No, it's a charcoal grill. I mean, hold on.
Wait, what's it called?
Let me get you the name. It is the Weber. Come on, dog. It's a Weber kettle, 22-inch. It's like the basic joint. Hold on.
All right, brother. You see, this is inflation. This is bitch is $149.
Now here it is. The Jumbo Joe 22 at Walmart, $100. That's the one I got. I'll send you the link.
Jumbo Joe.
Yeah, Jumbo Joe 22. It's a 22-inch grill. It's $100.
Okay, let me see. I see it on Home Depot right here. Let's see. So what do you need for this?
That's all. It comes with everything. So I would buy a cover if you don't have a covered porch. Well, I would buy a cover anyway, so it doesn't rust.
What do you mean cover?
You can buy a grill cover to slide on top of it when you're not using it, when it's cooled down, so the elements don't affect it.
Okay.
It'll last longer. I'd buy a charcoal chimney so that you can light the charcoal more efficiently.
What do you mean a charcoal chimney?
A charcoal chimney is it's what you'll use to start the fire. So instead of using lighter fluid, you get the chimney, you put the charcoal in the chimney. You can buy lighter starters, or you can just soak a paper bag. Not soak it. You can drizzle like a brown bag with olive oil. Light it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on, because this sounds like a lot. All right. What are the grills where you just start that bitch on?
Oh, you can get your little gas grill.
Listen. Okay, first off, as a griller, do grillers look at grillers differently if it's charcoal versus gas?
They do, but there's context that needs to be added. If you're here for efficiency, I'm not going to judge you, right? Like if you come home from work and you want a burger and you ain't got 15 minutes to light charcoal and you ain't got 10 minutes for the grill to get high, you just trying to eat and just some gas, I ain't going to judge you.
Okay. That's all I need to hear, because I just need something that, because I'm not, as the older I get now, I'm like, damn, I understand why my mom used to get mad when you get that meat out to thaw. That shit just ruin your whole day, because now it's like, all right, well, got to get something now, because I ain't got hours to let this bitch unthaw. I'll get something now.
100%.
I'll take out a steak or take out some chicken. Like I sit there, because I want to get a grill, because I want to make like kebabs, skewers. I want to start, you know what I mean? Chicken, steak, fish.
Fish might be hard. Fish is a little hard on the grill than people realize, because it's so flaky.
I'll stick the fish on the pan in the air fryer.
But yeah, if you don't want to, get your little gas grill, a little propane tank. It sounds like that might be what will suit your needs better than charcoal. Charcoal, it's a bit of a production.
Yeah, now you doing charcoal for like, you know what I mean? For the you trying to sell something. I mean, you trying to sell an experience. Trying to let people know I know what I'm doing in here.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a production.
What's a good place to get a grill? Home Depot or no?
Home Depot. God. Yeah, especially for your needs, you can probably get a gas grill for under $100. Easy.
Home Depot. I need y'all to tell me what the fuck. What? No. Hold on. Home Depot. Are you kidding me? Let me just type in gas grill, because I saw a gas grill on here that was $800, and I'm listen. Jesus himself wouldn't grill nothing.
Hey, man. You're looking for a propane grill. You're not looking for natural gas.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I just know propane. You can go get a tank. I don't know how you do a natural gas grill. I'm assuming you have to connect it to a gas line.
Like, man.
Let me see. Price low to high. Let's see what we got. Yeah, see, they got these little, I don't know what a Mega Master is, but yeah, there's one for $130. They got 2 burners.
Have you heard of Mega Master?
I have not, but I'm not too abreast to the gas grill industry because, like I said, I use charcoal. But are you looking at the same one I'm looking at, the one for 130?
Like black one?
Yeah, that black one.
Wait, what does yours say? Is it 3-burner propane gas grill in black?
So the one I'm looking at is 2 burners, but the 3 burner for 169 is an option. 3 burner might be.
I see the 3-burner for 169. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do with it? I mean, is that decent?
Yeah, three burners is more than enough for what you're doing. Like if you're just cooking a little chicken, a little steak here and there, you could probably get away with 2. But if you plan on like hosting people, like the 3 would be more efficient. But how often are you hosting people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So okay, this actually isn't bad.
Yeah, get that grill cover too. Yeah, see that 2 burner can hold 2 steaks, looks like 5 sausages, 4 ears of corn, and 3 skewers. That's more than enough.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna keep talking about it after this because I feel like I might have some more questions. All right, but let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. The NBA Finals are set. It is the Pacers. It is the Oklahoma City Thunder. First team to get 4 wins will be NBA champions. Before we get into our look ahead at the NBA Finals, let's look back at the series that ended over the weekend. The Pacers defeating the Knicks in 6 games. 6 games, finishing it out at home. I would just like to count or not count, speak up that between the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, I was the only one of us out of the 2 to get one of those series right. I did say Pacers in 6. Somebody here said Knicks in 7. Boy,
Was he wrong?
You were wrong. Thoughts about how the Pacers kind of finished off the Knicks and some of your biggest takeaways from the series now that it's all over.
I think, and I said this when we first picked, I was like, if the Pacers win, now granted he didn't win Eastern Conference MVP, which was hilarious in and of itself when he thought he was going to win. But do we start having that conversation of Tyrese Halliburton as a superstar? He's been to 2 Eastern Conference Finals consecutively. He's made it to the NBA Finals. I know they aren't I know the Vegas has the Thunder by a lot, which I'm not shocked. That's what I took away. And I also took away that this Pacers team does have the ability to be physical. Like that was always like we talked last week, like Miles Turner having 3 rebounds and how that's completely unacceptable, and it still is. But I still think that Pacers team physicality wise, we'll get into what I think about the Thunder Pacers series. I just think for me, I was just thoroughly impressed at how the Pacers dominated. And we'll talk about this in a second too, a reflection of Dip's coaching style, because Game 6, it was very easy to see early on that the Knicks just didn't have the legs for it. Like they didn't have the energy, nothing.
I think it's funny because I think if you think back to that Game 6 in Indianapolis, that pace in which that game started with, I think even Sam Van Gundy or Reggie Miller was like, yeah, no, this pace is pretty fast. I think this pace actually favors the Pacers way more than the Knicks realized. And then, boy, you got out there to because the game was fairly close. Game 6 was fairly close up until when it wasn't close. And it really kind of started pulling away probably a little bit after halftime in that third quarter. And I think that's when the Pacers just started to wear and eventually just kind of pulled away. I think my thoughts coming away from this is like, man, I think I was really impressed with not only how the Pacers weathered that storm of Game 6, but how they just continue to just push the pace. So even when the Knicks may get a tough shot, ball's already flying back right back up the court. Someone's pushing it up to either try to get a quick bucket in transition or try to get them on numbers. I think the one thing I really took away from this is like, man, Rick Carlisle, you wanna coach circles around someone. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Carlisle had adjustments to Thibs adjustments. He just put Thibs in these tough situations as a coach. Now, granted, it doesn't help when Carl Anthony Towns is just getting like 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes, shit like that. But I think it was just I really think Carlisle did a great job of just out coaching Diggs.
Yeah, and I think you talked about that at the very beginning, right? The pace. I think that was the biggest thing for you and why you picked the Pacers in 6. You mentioned like they're going to run and run and run and throw waves at the Knicks, and the Knicks. And if I'm not mistaken, like you were just saying, like the Knicks just don't have the depth to keep up with all that running. And you were right.
Yeah, they don't. Not only that, I think just the way they run their offense, it's like I don't. It's very they don't really have a set. I'm not gonna say they have a set offense, but the ball is in Jalen Brunson's hands so much, and he has to do so much with it that if the ball's not free flowing, if the ball's not moving around, I mean, now you're talking about taking like 10, 15 seconds off the shot clock, and now you're not getting as as quality of a look. So Kyle says one francophone on each team will win an NBA championship this year. He also says 2 Canadian players will win NBA championship this year since both the Pacers and Thunder have 2 players each. I'm trying to figure out what the hell.
Yeah, this is French. Un francophone va gagner la champions NBA. Is that right, Kyle? How was that? I took French.
Oh, a francophone is a person who speaks French. So he's saying a French-speaking person will. There's one French-speaking person on each team. So I wonder who that would be for the Pacers.
This is a good game. Who looks like they speak Naismith? Is Naismith the French speaker? Kyle, who's the French speaker in Indiana? D, what's your guess?
If it's not like a Neesmith or not, if it's not Neesmith or Nimhart, then I'm going to take a random player like T.J. McConnell or Miles Turner.
I was going to say Miles Turner is my dark horse to speak French.
Miles Turner definitely looks like he would randomly just know French. Shams reported earlier today that the Knicks earlier today relieved Tom Thibodeau of his duties after 5 years as the head coach of the New York Knicks. What are your thoughts here on Thibs being relieved after the Knicks make their first conference final in 20 years? They defeated the defending world champions. Some might say if they had tapped into their bench maybe earlier in game 1 or 2, maybe this series goes differently. What are your thoughts on this move by the Knicks, and do you who would you say is a good replacement for Thibs at this point?
Well, first of all, Mike Malone's the replacement. I don't think that's a big secret. I understand both sides, right? My question to Dolan, and this is Kyle's comment about Dolan being stupid. You know who Tibbs was when you hired him. You know how Tibbs runs his organization. You know he really doesn't use his bench. He really doesn't develop players. He's going to get maximum effort. He's going to be high intensity. They're going to play great defense. But a Tom Thibodeau team has a definitive ceiling. It just depends on what that ceiling is, and it's not been a championship because the way Thibs coaches and wants his teams to play basketball, like we just talked about, it exerts a lot of energy. So unless you have a juggernaut that just goes into playoff series and it's like sweep 5 games, sweep, like at some point it's going to catch up. And what the Knicks? I think every one of their series went 6 games at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like
Detroit, they won in 6. Celtics, they beat it 6 at home, and then Pacers lost.
They lost like that. That catches up, man. But from the Knicks' point, what coach do you think is going to? This is the highest you've been in a long time. Who gets you over the hump? I think it's Mike Malone. I keep seeing
Tell me why.
Huh?
Tell me why.
I mean, I think he's the best person out there. Who else is out there? Mike Budenholzer. We know where Mike Budenholzer team will go, and he gonna have a stroke on the sideline. You don't want him in MSG. Who else is out there? What's my man who coached Detroit? He coached Phoenix, and then he went to Detroit. Black guy.
No, not Monty.
Yeah,
no.
it's not gonna be Monty. Is there any like hot shot assistant coach that people are talking about that I've missed?
All right. Okay, pause. Not pause, but like 1 second here, because I want to go back to Monty Williams for a second. Because some days I think about this, and I'm not laughing at Monty Williams, but I laugh at the situation. Well, Monty Williams was coaching the Pistons that year. All Little Caesars wanted to do was give away some damn free pizza, and they lost, what, 26, 27 in a row?
Can't get the pizza. Oh, this is an interesting name.
Oh, listen, it got to a point where everyone was just dead ass watching Pistons games just to see if they were going to win and get the free. Come on. It was either free wings or free pizza.
Yeah, I remember. I'm so happy for the Pistons that they finally got to see the playoffs. Detroit deserves better, man. It's a great
being on vacation, keeping up what Pistons scores, saying to the person I went on vacation with, yo, the Pistons might fuck around and win a game. Okay, let me ask you this. What do you think is more intriguing for the public to keep up with in terms of historic losing? What's going on in Colorado right now with the Rockies? I don't know if you're aware.
Oh yeah, they're 4-53, right?
Yeah, that or a losing streak like in the NBA where a team loses 20 plus games in a row, and it's like, okay, this is borderline fucking embarrassing. And you see how long that losing streak goes? Or very last one.
I know what you're about to say.
The winless NFL team.
That's the one. 0-16 is worse than anything else.
No, here be my thing about the winless football team. It's not until about 0-4, 5 where everyone's like, oh no, this team might be bad. Like by 0-4, they have thrown the season away. We're already thinking about next year.
Yeah, and then like once you're 0-12, what am I here for? Like I would start tuning out the coach. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
There was a winless Browns team as recently as like the last 10 years.
Yeah, what's that coach's name? Because he ran into the river. What's that man's name? Doesn't matter. Like for me, 0-16. Like 0-16 is worse than anything because for football, like basketball, you don't have a lot of time to think, or baseball because the games are so close together. Like you really don't have time to come up for air, right?
Hugh
Jackson, that's it.
Hugh Jackson, who went, get this, 1-31.
Insane, dog. Like the fact that he kept his job long enough to go 1-31.
Listen, so the Cleveland Browns had a winless season in 2017, finishing with a 0-16 record. This made them the second team in NFL history to go winless in a 16-game season, alongside the 2008 Detroit Lions. The Browns' 0-16 finish concluded a 2-year stretch under coach Hugh Jackson, who went 1-31 during that time. The Browns' 0-16 record also resulted in them having the first overall pick in the 2018 NFL draft. So that means in 2016, they went 1-15. In 2017, they went 0-16.
And that's the Baker draft, right? After that, they drafted Baker.
Somewhere.
That's Baker, right? That's Baker, 1 overall.
No, I want to just look at the scores. Like,
yeah, because I'm sure it was close in the beginning of the year. And then the farther you got into the year, the bigger the blowout is my assumption. Oh, here you go. This is for you. Kyle wanted to throw a little shade to the Lions because we know how much the Packers fans love the Lions.
Lions haven't won a title since Jailhouse Rock by Elvis was #1 on the charts. Yikes. Let's see, 2017, 2018. The Browns were 0-16.
That's crazy. Oh,
Hold on. I'm going to pull up
you
there.
looking at the scores?
All right, here we go. This was the 2017 season, right? Here's the funny part. No, what do you think is even funnier about the fact that the Browns went 0-16 in the regular season that year?
Ooh, I can't think of anything funnier than that. Like that sounds. I remember that season, other than the Lions one, because I remember the last one. I remember there's a picture from the Lions with 0-16. I think their last game that year was in Green Bay, and I think there's a Lions fan. I remember the picture with the sign. It's like something like 0-16. Let's do this, or something to that effect. I just remember that picture. But what are you referring to?
The Browns in 2017 went undefeated in the preseason.
Dr. Harris Muhammad.
That's hilarious.
Let's go through some of these scores. Steelers 21, Browns 18, Ravens 24, Browns 10, Colts 31, Browns 28, Bengals 31, Browns 7, Jets 17, Browns 14. That one was the one that hurt. Texans 33, Browns 17. Oh, this is another one. Final, Titans 12, Browns 9 in OT. 33-16 loss to the Vikings. 38-24 loss to the Lions. 19-7 loss to the Jaguars. 16-30 loss to the Bengals. Lost to the Chargers 19-10. Lost to the Packers 27-21. Lost to the Ravens 27-10. Lost to the Bears 20-3. That was the Mitch Trubisky year. I remember that.
Jesus.
And then last game of the season, they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-28 to complete a 0-16.
I didn't realize they were that competitive throughout the entire year.
Yeah. Kyle says Hugh Jackson is so lucky he has that 8-8 season. If not, he would have a worse winning percentage than Urban Meyer.
Jesus. That's a stat.
I agree. Danny, as we look ahead to the NBA Finals with the Pacers and the Thunders, this is essentially a matchup between the league's best offense in a way versus the league's best defense. Give me some of your key matchups to watch, and what are your thoughts about this series?
I think the most interesting for me is the number of bodies they can throw at Tyrese Halliburton, depending on what they want to do, right? If you want to throw length at him, you can throw Shea at him. If you want to throw physicality, you can throw Luke Dort. You can throw Alex Caruso if you want someone who's a little bit more feisty, a little bit more like. I just think the way the Thunder can guard Tyrese Halliburton, like even if we're small, well, I wouldn't put Chet on him, but you got Jalen Williams. I just think the way the Thunder can throw multiple looks at Tyrese Halliburton, I don't know if there's an answer that Indiana can provide that doesn't feel fluky. You know what I'm saying? Like those Naismith threes, like those 6 threes he hit, something like that. Like I just feel like to beat that, it's going to be something fluky. And same with Pascal Siakam, right? So you got 4 people that you can flow between. Personally, I put Lou Dort on Siakam because again, he's more physical. Siakam can be physical. I just think Lou Dort would be a better matchup. And I would tell those other 3 guys, your responsibility is Tyrese Halliburton. Because the bigs ain't gonna do anything. If Miles Turner, the man get 3 rebounds, he not out rebound Chet, he not out rebounding Harden.
Maybe he does.
I'd be shocked to see it. If the Indiana's bigs beat me, I would have to live with that.
I think the bigs may be where Indiana has the advantage.
Really? So you would take Miles Turner? Who's their starting big? Because Miles comes off the bench, right?
Let's look real quick.
I don't think Miles comes off the bench. That is incorrect. Yeah.
Tyrese. Hold on. Do they start Nemhard and Neesmith? I don't believe so. Oh, actually, yes, they do. Tyrese, Nemhard, Neesmith, Siakam, and Turner.
Yeah. So who's the depth big?
Um, roster. Let's see. They got Thomas Bryant, Tony Bradley, Jaleel Okafor. I didn't know that. James Wiseman. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
they
not
also
enough for
you
me.
might be thinking of like Obi Toppin.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Obi Toppin.
I just don't know. I think the Pacers are going to throw everything at Halliburton and Pascal, and I think they have the facilities to do that, big dog.
How do you think the rating the ratings police or the NBA ain't going to allow that because the ratings crowd is going to respond to this one, knowing that the markets here are Indiana and Oklahoma City.
I think real basketball is going to push through because I'm excited for this series. I wasn't at first, but after watching that Knicks series, because I haven't watched a lot. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched a lot of the Pacers this year. Really haven't watched a decent amount of the Thunder. Know what they can do, but you have the MVP of the league. You have SGA. Like you have star power. It's just not the star power you're used to, and I think that's the thing. I think we're also starting to see a a new way to build title contenders with the second apron approaching. Like Indiana is deep. Like it used to be, depth really didn't matter. I have three of the best 12 players on the planet. I'm probably going to win. Like you can't do that now because you can't afford it. So how do you build your roster out? Like what does this look like? And I think Indiana has done, and the Thunder. Like I think they've both done a good job. I think we might start seeing this in the league now. Like you're not going to have teams with three guys on max deals. This might be one guy, a 1A or 1B. I'm excited. I think real hoops fans, I know we're like missing the person. I think this is the first one without like Texas or LA in like 20 years or some shit like that.
Wait, say what?
Like, I saw some stat. Cal, you may know this one. This might be like the first finals, or I think it was like the first Western Conference Finals that didn't have LA or Texas in it in like 10 or 15 years or some stat. Like it was crazy. That stat. Yeah, this was like the first Western Conference Finals that didn't feature LA or Texas.
Well, in how many years? Let's take a look, my brother.
It's definitely double digits.
All right, let's look
If I
at.
am not mistaken.
So let's go back to what year is it? 2025.
Yeah. So last year it was.
All right, so let's go back. We can go back. We can go back as far as 2014. 14 was Spurs versus Thunder. 15 was Warriors versus Rockets. And 16 Warriors versus Thunder. 17 Warriors versus Spurs. 18 Warriors versus Rockets. 19 Warriors versus Blazers. 20 Lakers versus Nuggets. 21 Clippers versus Suns. 22 Golden State versus Dallas. 23 Denver, LA. 24 Dallas, Minnesota. This year, Oklahoma City, Minnesota.
Yeah. So Texas or California, excuse me, not LA.
Texas or California has been represented. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember it was something crazy. And I think this is Cal said SGA is going to boost the ratings in Canada. I think this is a great way to introduce more stars in the NBA. Right? So the people who are like, this isn't the ratings and this isn't going to be fun. We get to learn who Tyrese Halliburton is. We get to learn who SGA is. We get to learn who Chet is and Miles, and we get to learn about Rick Carlisle. I am excited to learn more about the future, not even the future, the stars of this league right now, because Bron's gone. It might be next year, but Bron's gone. KD is old. Everyone knows who Ant is. We need more stars, and I think this is a great way for America, especially SGA. I know I've been a little hard with foul march and stuff, but that boy is amazing. SGA is
he that dude.
He that dude, and he's very unique. And I think the NBA could use unique right now.
What team do you think has made the most conference finals appearances?
All time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's probably the Lakers.
You're right. Lakers have 24 total appearances. Get this. They have 24 total appearances. They have won 19 times and lost 5. They are
That's
19
crazy.
and 5 in the conference championship round.
Yeah, Cal said this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I said, Cal, it's the first time in 29 years that not LA, that California or Texas have not been in the Western Conference Finals.
Don't worry. It won't happen next year.
It will not happen.
The Celtics have made 23 conference finals appearances, but get this, they're 11 and 12.
I think for LA and Boston, it's if you make it to the conference finals, there's a good chance you're going to make it to the finals, unless you just run into somebody. Like that Boston team, that was Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's like first year together, right? They ran into Braun. LA ran into Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like you running against some all timers.
Right. Well,
yeah,
we beat them one time.
Yeah, in the Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bubble one. Yeah. And then you met Jokic in a couple years ago when they won the title. So I feel like when Boston or LA lose in the Western Conference Finals or the Conference Finals, like they've run it against some hitters.
18 total championships. 49, 50, 52, 3, 4, 72, 80, 82, 85, 87, 88, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2009, 2010, 2020. Not too damn bad. And they got a mixture of championships in every decade except for the 90s.
Yeah. Oh, the Lakers?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're the greatest franchise
In basketball.
in basketball.
In basketball, straight up. All right, let's go ahead. Let's put it on wax. Pacers or Thunder? How many games?
I want to say Thunder in 5, but I'm not sleeping on the Pacers. I'm gonna say Thunder in 6.
All right, so we both say so you say Thunder in 6. You know what? Been watching a lot
You
of
gonna take
Pat
the Pacers?
McAfee. I've been watching a lot of Pat McAfee lately. I have been a fan of the nickname Halliban.
Insane.
Halliban.
And have you
Pacers
seen the memes? Pacers in 7?
Pacers in 6.
Are you going in underdog and put money on that?
Absolutely not. Pacers in 6. Give me Pacers in 6. And here's what's going to happen. OKC wins game 1.
Yep.
Indiana wins games 2, 3. Wait, Indiana wins games 2 and game 3. OKC wins game 4.
Okay.
Indy wins game 5 on the road, barely, and closes out at home in a blowout.
All right. So for me, I'm taking Pacers game 1.
All right, hold on. Indy takes game 1.
Thunder take game 2 and game 3. Indy wins game 4. Thunder win game 5. And that's it, ain't it?
Game 5
No, I got them in 6 in game 5 and game 6. Yeah, I think Thunder win. That means they'd win in Indy, which is kind of funny.
Hey, they're better. Listen, Indiana has won road games in all these series.
Yeah, that's why I'm picking Pacers game 1. I think the Pacers are going to win game 1. I actually might go on underdog and put money on that.
If you win some money, let me hold it up.
You got more money than me. I'm broke.
Nah, I'm broker.
You know what? Today they had free lunch at work. I took an extra one for tomorrow.
Listen, for work, I had a wish sandwich. Let's talk a little bit about the WNBA. WNBA. So I believe the Lynx And the Liberty are still undefeated. Have they lost the game yet?
Nope. The Lynx are playing right now against Phoenix. The Commissioner's Cup has started, but Minnesota is up 37-28 in the second. I believe the Liberty play do they play tonight or tomorrow? Wait, who plays? I know there's one game that tips off at,
Mystics and Fever are playing right now.
Yep.
Indiana's in 69-55. You already mentioned the Mercury and the Lynx, and then the Storm and the Wings play later today.
Okay, so yeah, I think New York plays tomorrow. So far, I've had a lot of fun watching this season. I think you have my tiers. Let me go find my tiers and see if I need to correct anything.
They're at the bottom.
They're at the bottom. Thank you. Yep, ground floor. Golden State's a lot better. They pushed New York to the limit the other night. They almost won that game. Golden State's a lot better than I thought they were. Still ground floor, Connecticut's ass. League Pass veterans. The Mystics are a lot better than I thought. The Dream are a lot better than I thought. Sky and Wings are where I thought they'd be. Seattle's a lot better than I thought. The Sparks just need to get healthy. Like they still, like Ray Burrell still leg. Cameron Brink still come from ACL. They just need to get healthy. The Fever need to get healthy. Caitlin Clark on a contusion. I think Sophie Cunningham is hurt. Phoenix is pretty good. And then the other three, the Vegas has won 4 in a row, I want to say, or 3 in a row. They're 4-2 now. Yeah, I think for those league passes, $35. I am really taking note of this Mystics team. Like they have 2 rookies. Amazing. I think they're going to be ahead of schedule. I've enjoyed watching. Huh?
You said the Mystics?
Yeah, I've enjoyed watching the Mystics, and like I said, Golden State's been a lot better than I thought they would. So it's just been fun. Again, if you have $35 to spare, League Pass is $35. You legit get every single game unless you're in a local market. Then you can watch it on a local network. Or if you have Ion TV, Ion shows W games every Friday night. Amazon Prime has a Thursday night deal, and the summer ESPN will have Sunday afternoon games. CBS Sports has Saturday games.
I did watch a game on CBS Sports on Saturday. How do you think the Fever are favoring without Caitlin Clark right now?
I mean, they're doing the best they can. I think the team is so good. They built so much around her that they can survive. Like, they don't have to rush Caitlin. Yeah, like, they're up 14 right now. They're 2-4. They'll be 3-4 after tonight. You're just trying to tread water till Caitlin gets back. I don't think you have to rush her because that team, well, granted, Sophie Cunningham's hurt too. Like, they just need to get healthy. They in LA just need to get healthy. So if I'm a Fever fan, like, I'm not worried. You've still got plenty of time.
And they lost 3 in a row before tonight, so.
And they've all been kind of close, if I'm not mistaken. It's not like they're getting blown out. Like they have.
Well, not versus the Suns. Not versus the Sun. They lost by 2. So you're right. Mystics, they lost 77-83. Liberty, they lost. Well, I guess you're right. 90.
Yeah, they got blown out by the Liberty. No, Liberty blew out Golden State. How much they lose Liberty by?
88-90.
Yeah, and that's without Caitlin. So if you're a Fever fan and you're gonna lose by 2 to New York on the road, like you're good. Like I wouldn't worry at
all. Let's transition over straight into the NFL real quick. I love the NFL. We'll go through a few headlines and then we'll tackle a little bit of fantasy afterwards. So
okay.
We wanna start by wishing Frank Ragnow a happy retirement. 7 seasons with the Lions. Apparently, just listening to some of my Detroit friends and folks who are big into the Detroit Lions team, they said he embodied essentially what it meant to be a great football player, great leader. So, shout out to Frank Ragnow, great player. Hope you're able to enjoy retirement. Danny, want to get your thoughts here. Hearing that the 49ers are finalizing a deal for Bryce Huff, I think this is a win or a loss for the rest of the NFC. And I guess your thoughts on both your defensive line for the Eagles and the Niners' now new defensive line after this trade.
I think it's a win-win, but if I had to say a clear one, I think it's the 49ers. So Bryce Huff gets to go back to Robert Saleh, who was Bryce Huff's coach when Saleh was in New York. He knows what Bryce Huff prefers. He knows, I think the Eagles asked too much out of him. They wanted him to be a complete end. He's not. He's here to rush the passer on, third and long on obvious passing situations. I think he'll be able to do that in San Francisco. Is it a loss for the NFC? I mean, yeah, because you have Bosa on one side, you'll have Bryce Huff on the other side. You know, I think it's a win for the Niners. For the Eagles, I'm a little concerned about their D-line depth because right now it's Nolan Smith, who's coming off a torn tricep, who's Brandon Graham retired. Like the D-end depth, like you're really going to rely on Jalen Hunt. Well,
Told y'all that shit won't being ran back next year. Yeah.
That doesn't mean Jalen Carter still exists.
You got Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, one man. We're doubling him. We're gonna run exactly away from him. That's all we gonna do.
So, but I will say the Eagles have 13 picks in next year's draft. Like they have the ammo to go get somebody. And like the Eagles don't need like a special. Like they don't need. Like I think they have enough depth. But I think I need one more solid vet to feel comfortable.
I don't think y'all do. I like y'all playing right now. Just keep trading away.
Of course you do.
Hey, can't wait. By week 4, Eagles are going to be 2-2, and everyone's be saying, "What's going on with the Eagles? They don't look as good as they're supposed to."
I expect them to be 2-2. That's exactly where I have them at is 2-2 at week 4.
What are your thoughts on Stefon Diggs being on the boat with the pink substance instead of at OTAs? But he is at OTAs now, though. And they saying he's looking pretty good.
Y'all, not only we can call it what it was. That was cocaine. That was pink coke, and he was around a group of women, not Cardi B, calling him daddy.
Cardi B was on the boat though.
She was on the boat. Did you see the video of her dancing on him? And he just looked like, if I died right now, this is where I'm supposed to go. I'm not mad at it, but find Jesus, brother. This don't end well. It's just not end well. And that's not a knock to Cardi B. I think Cardi B is a little too wild for that boy. But good for him.
Listen, typing in pink cocaine into your browser, it's like, oh, that's like a real thing. Listen, Stefon, I think in times like this, in stories like this, I always go back to one of my favorite videos ever. Whoever that Viking social media person was went around the locker room asking everyone who is one player in the locker room that you would not allow to date your sister, and every single one said Stefon Diggs.
Yep, 100%.
They got Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs is like, wait, they all said me? They wouldn't let me date their sister? What's wrong with me? I'm like, oh yeah, no.
We got him.
We got him. Listen, Mike Vrabel up there just like, yo, I need someone to catch the football. I don't care if this guy's out here doing Molly. I don't care if he's off.
He might be.
They probably like, I don't care if he's doing the Josh Gordon thing. Can you come catch 80 to 100 balls for about 13 to 1,400 receiving yards and maybe 10 touchdowns? Because if you can, it doesn't even matter.
You know what? I'm shocked. I'm shocked he didn't get drug tested. Because usually, like if someone has a big game, they get drug tested the next day. There's a video of that man handing out a pink substance to a group of women calling him daddy. I'd have drug tested him the second his feet touched down in Foxborough. I need your piss, and I'm going to get some blood too.
Well, I don't think cocaine stays in your system that long, so depending on... All right.
Go ahead, Mr. DEA.
I think cocaine stays in your system for maybe like 40 to 72 hours, so if you just took his time getting to the facility, maybe not reporting to OTAs immediately, giving his body a little bit of time to get rid of some stuff.
Perhaps, but still. And also, stop recording. Put the phones down, man. If you're doing coke with celebrities, put the phones away.
Yeah, use the phone to take the line. Don't record yourself.
Thank you. What happened to dignity, man?
Ain't none. If you're Mike Vrabel, would you do something? Like, would you? You know what I mean?
Hell no.
Me either.
You got Kevin Booty on the other side. Hell no.
Kayshon Boutte, and I've been hearing good things about Kayshon Boutte and OTA. Okay. So also all y'all who said y'all didn't want to trade for him, ha ha ha! I can't wait for him to be a really good wide receiver too next year. Speaking of wide receivers too, let's go to Duval County. Their new wide receiver too is Travis Hunter. We saw back in the draft they spent a good amount of draft capital moving up. A lot of reports are saying they do plan on playing him on both sides of the ball, which would be good for him. That he's able to to play both positions. He was kind of that like he did in college.
Mm-hmm.
But as you start thinking about, you're hearing a lot about the rookies and their signing of contracts. I think this is where it gets interesting for Travis Hunter because a lot of reports are saying that this could maybe either impact his money / his bonuses either positively or negatively because he does play both sides of the ball. So already, like when we start talking about performance based merits and kind of contract structure and where your salary range is, how do you think this kind of impacts Travis Hunter? Like, do you think he's really? Do you think the money he's gonna end up making will be really what he's worth if he turns out to be as good as the number 2 overall pick?
So I never thought about this until I read the notes yesterday. You put this in there. I think it's going to come to. Do you remember that? I forgot who it was, but there was a time where it's like, are they an outside linebacker or are they an edge rusher? Who was that? It's not Micah because he hasn't gotten paid. I forgot who the player was, but the argument for, oh no, they're not an edge rusher because they were getting franchise tag, and the franchise tag for edge rushers was a lot more than that franchise tag for outside linebackers. And they were trying to label him as an outside linebacker. And he's like, no, I'm an edge rusher. Kyle, if you're in here, do you remember that at all?
I don't remember that.
You do, and you just don't remember the name, or you don't remember that?
Maybe the former. I feel like I remember something similar. I just don't remember the athlete or the team.
Yeah, it's ringing about. I think we're going to get to that situation with Travis, and it's going to be like, no, because wide receivers make more, right? He's like, no, I'm a wide receiver. It's like, oh, no, but you play 51% of your snaps as a corner. You're a corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, especially if we get to talking about the franchise tag, now by then maybe the number will be similar and it won't matter. But I believe right now that receivers make more than corners. So I could see that coming to play if we're in a situation where it's like, well, I just think I deserve X, Y, Z. And it's like, well, yeah, you do, but we see you as a corner. We don't see you, or even worse, don't let him become a safety, right? We think you're a better safety. Don't let him become a safety because they don't make no money.
Shit, he might not make he might not make no money. Like, where do you think what position probably makes more, receiver or corner, depending on his market? Because corners get paid. Look at Derek Stingley.
Corners do get paid, but I don't think corners get paid. Like, what's the highest paid corner? It's Surtain, right? I think Surtain's the highest paid.
Or Stingley, one of the two.
Yeah, Stingley now. You're right. Highest paid corner and highest paid receiver. I think it is Stingley. So Stingley signed a 3-year, $90 million with $89 million guaranteed. And I think Jamar Chase is the highest. Yeah, Jamar Chase is getting paid. Come on, give me the whole contract. Yeah, so Jamar got $161 million compared to Derek Stingley's $90 million. Like, receivers.
But how much was guaranteed? Because I know Derek Stingley got a lot of guaranteed money, I believe.
Yeah, 89. So 48 is totally guaranteed, but the total guarantees is 89.
Jamar Chase?
No, for Derek Stingley. Jamar Chase, what is this? 73 fully guaranteed compared to 48 fully guaranteed for Stingley. So receivers get paid a lot more. So if we're talking about just fully guaranteed.
Travis, by game 4, 5, 6, when the Jaguars is about 1-2, 1-4, they just gonna knock on your door and tell you don't need to attend anymore than defensive meetings.
Yeah, do you know he is getting about as much. Derek Stingley is getting about as much total guaranteed money as Michael Pittman.
Hey man, when you're able to catch that ball, when I see him catch that ball, when I see him throw that ball, woof, woof. Yeah. You can make $30 million a year being a wide receiver. You're right. I see it.
I think we're going to get to that. If we're 4 years down the road and he's eligible for an extension and he's doing this, playing both sides of the ball step, I bet you Jacksonville's like, oh, well, we see you more. We're not going to pay you as a full, as a wide receiver one because you play corner snaps. So he need to make a decision, and that decision need to be wide receiver.
Well, we're gonna see the Jaguars. Well, unless the Jaguars continue to just pay him, maybe in between that corner wide receiver range.
Yeah, but if I'm Travis, I'm trying to get paid.
Well, I mean,
so that's a big gap
he
between.
dates white women, so
that's crazy. Like that's a big guarantee. 48 million and 73 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed. That's
yeah, but he probably don't be putting that shit on, so it's not like that.
30. Did you see that clip they released today?
Of what?
Of Travis in coverage, buddy.
You like he wanted him?
He looked like he was back in the Big 12.
That one.
Yeah, see, Kyle says Stingley would be wide receiver 8 based on salary.
Hey, wide receiver 8.
And he reset the market with that contract.
No. While we're here, we also want to give some congratulations to Saquon Barkley, who is the cover athlete for Madden 26. I know I made some jokes earlier about it, but Danny, how we feeling? Your man, your savior, literally. Jalen Hurts' savior.
That's cold. Hey, man, he earned it. Like I know the Madden curse. I am a believer in the Madden curse, but they won the Super Bowl, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
Because the 49ers did the same thing, didn't win the Super Bowl. McCaffrey got the cover, and they've been in hell ever since. But the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we won't listen. I don't think we'll be seeing any more repeating Super Bowl championships from the Eagles this year. But I'm glad they got their Madden cover, and next year when the title defense doesn't even land them in the playoffs next year, we'll be ready.
That's hate. You should be so lucky. Maybe if y'all stop worrying about plays that other teams run and worry about your own organization, maybe you could win the Super Bowl. But what do I know?
Well, see, here's the thing. Majority of the league does not agree with this play. The reason why that shit failed was because somebody in Packers brass went up and changed the wording in the verse.
Shout out Dan Campbell.
That thing should have been passed. But
shout out Dan Campbell.
Well, there are probably like one or two teams outside of Philadelphia that were probably like, who gives a fuck what they run? Like, keep it in.
I think it was
I definitely feel like some of those teams that voted to keep it in were definitely like, all right, we just don't we don't want this play in, but we don't want the result of what will happen if we vote for this because of the new language. That's different.
Well, and the thing is, if you ban this play, who's to say 5 years from now the Packers have an unstoppable play? Like it sets a precedent that if somebody is really good at something, we can ban it because we can't stop it. And
well, it's not about being good at something. This is football. That's not a football play. This is American football. That's rugby.
No, it's not. Jordan Mailata was a professional rugby player, and he said it has nothing to do with rugby.
Yeah, I would say that too if I played for the Eagles. Hey, it's just a normal legal football play because we just pushed our quarterback can squat 600 pounds. So yeah, we can just cool, but that's not football. That's rugby.
I think it is the essence of football. I am stronger than you, and I'm going to move you.
I can understand when you have this straight QB sneak. The tush push is not that. That is rugby.
Well, then run it. Run it.
It is run. We use our tight end and run it.
Run it then. All you dorks who want to ban it,
we do. We do. That don't mean it's right. That don't mean it's right.
Josh, run it. Lamar, run it. You have Derrick Henry.
They do. That don't mean they want
to. The Ravens voted not to block it. Shout out to the Ravens. John Harbaugh, run it.
He will. That does not mean they agree or think this shit should stay around. They just didn't like the wording from the updated proposal from the past.
Hey, man, run it yourself.
We do. We use Tucker Kraft.
Detroit, use your tight ends. Use a fullback. Use a linebacker. Run it. If everyone could do it, they would. Shout out Nick Sirianni.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Listen. Our David Montgomery trade talks have fizzled out.
It has.
Me and Kyle have been discussing a trade around Jaden Reed. Kyle is asking for a second-round pick next year, Bam's third-round pick in 2028 for Jaden Reed, and for No. Kyle is asking for Khalil Shakir, a 2027 second, and a Bam third for Jaden Reed in a third.
His third in what year?
I believe 27.
So,
But it's Rojo's third, not Kyle's.
oh, okay. Well, you and I have talked about this before. I think the most valuable thing, the most valuable asset in our league for the foreseeable future is any pick that is assigned to Bam. I think that is the most valuable thing. Like, I have Bam's second round pick next year, and you know what that pick's going to be? Damn near first rounder. It's probably going to be 201 to 203. No offense to Bam. I just think he has too many Ravens.
I mean, you said it like 6 weeks in a row. I think there's some events here.
I just think he has too many Ravens on his team. Like one bad Ravens game and he's done.
Wait, say what?
I said I feel like he has too many Ravens on his team. Like there's only one football. Like you got Lamar, but you got DeAndre Hopkins. You got Isaiah Likely. He has Derrick Henry too right now. He doesn't have Derrick Henry, does he? Hold on,
He might. I think he does.
I think he has damn near the whole Ravens roster. Yeah, he got Lamar, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins. His roster's not bad. I keep talking like it is. It's not bad. But I think a lot of he has Isaiah. Yeah, his roster is better than I give it credit for. But I think his picks, and you can. I mean, some people might look at my roster and say the same. Like my picks might be some of the most valuable things in this league, which is fair. I just think Bam's a little bit more valuable.
Thank you, Kyle. Kyle saying Bam catches strays that aren't really strays because you basically saying his team is ass.
I'm saying he's invested a lot into the Ravens. Like he has Stefon Diggs. We don't know what Stefon going to look like. Isaiah Pacheco going to lose his job. He has T. Higgins. Okay. He has T.J. Hawkinson. Alvin Kamara's old. Tracy in New York. Don't know. Najee Harris is going to be fighting with Amari in Hampton. Cooper Kupp is old. DeAndre Hopkins is old. Russell Wilson is old. Tank Bixby. He has Adam Thielen and Christian Kirk. Like there's a world where his team struggles, and you can say the same thing about me. I wouldn't be mad, but I think Bam's picks are the most valuable thing in this league right now. So if I'm giving up one of Bam's picks, I better be getting something really good.
Jaden Reed and a 2027 third.
Yeah, but the thing about a pick from Rojo is his team is going to be good for the foreseeable future. Kyle said, "Why is Pacheco?" I misspoke. I don't mean he's going to lose his job, but he really didn't produce last year. Like I'm not a big Pacheco man.
Yeah, this I will say this latest offer from Kyle, tough one, man. I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, that's a lot of assets. When the main person I want from this is the wide receiver. It's funny because I think I've chatted with you. The main portions of this deal is centered around Khalil Shakir, and then maybe my second round pick around Jaden Reed. I've heard some people kind of come back and say that they don't really believe that there's that much of a difference in Khalil Shakir and Jaden Reed. I've heard a lot of people say that they think Khalil Shakir is better than Jaden Reed and in a better offense. Curious on your thoughts there.
Yeah, I think Kyle Pacheco did break his leg last year. Okay. You believe? I forgot he broke his leg. All right, Kyle. I hear you. Shakir, I think Josh Allen throws the ball to Shakir more than. This is me being jaded. I don't trust a Packers receiver for anything. So I would take Shakir over Jaden Reed. I don't trust y'all receiving core. I know Christian Watson towards ACL. He's going to be out until week whatever.
But we used first round draft capital to draft a wide receiver. We drafted Savion Williams either second or third.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when it comes to Jaden Reed, I do have an itch. I do want to get him on my team, Packers reasons, but Kyle and I are still going to work through that trade if it's going to happen. I feel like the trade, the most recent iteration of the trade, so it's a little rich. It's a little rich.
So what would you give up? What would you give up to get Jaden Reed then if you're not trying to give up that Bam's pick?
I don't know. Part of me thinks maybe I need to table these chats, and maybe let's just maybe I just try to trade. Maybe part of me says I don't know. It's tough because that's just a lot. That's just a lot to give up. When Khalil Shakir is not a bad wide receiver and he's only in year 3, and I have his quarterback, and I have all my picks right now. So
Okay.
you know, and going into Superflex, I really feel like my 3 picks next year, I could maybe use a couple of them to either trade for a really talented stud or really draft again using my picks next year. But I would like to keep my first, and I would like to keep my second round pick. So I know that I'd have to give up that second round pick and likely a player to get Jaden Reed just because.
So I think it's something to think about.
All right, some other quick hitters. In the UFC, I know we don't talk a lot about the UFC, but Tom Aspinall, what would you say to him? He's the interim UFC heavyweight champion. He's patiently waiting on the UFC heavyweight champion, John Jones, to, to basically agree to the title unification match for the UFC heavyweight championship. But John Jones basically says, yo, I don't think you're really worthy of fighting me, so I'm going to take my time with this. If you're Tom, would you consider this mad disrespectful or he kind of ducking me?
Oh, mad disrespect. It's so disrespectful that I would say that he's ducking me to get him to respond.
But like, are you sure you want them problems?
I mean, you can't avoid that problem. Like y'all both just can't be sitting there.
No, you can't avoid that problem. And he's telling you, and he's giving you an option to avoid them problems by not responding.
I will call Stefon Diggs and see if I can get some of that pink stuff and call John and be like, I got you.
Ain't it fun? Ain't John really into God too? Like he into a lot of religion right now.
I mean, there are a lot of cokeheads who believe in Jesus.
Listen, I guess in that powder, you got to.
You get that powder, you see the Holy Ghost. But in all seriousness,
John Jones is like 23, 24, 25, and 1. His one loss came by DQ. Like he's never actually been beat in the ring.
Okay, he's a killer.
I don't know if I'm barking up that tree.
Who initiated this conversation?
Well, I think I forgot what fight John Jones wanted to happen. Maybe it's the I don't remember, but basically that's when they set up the Tom Aspinall interim heavyweight championship fight in which he won the interim championship. And so obviously when you have the interim and the heavyweight, they just kind of that has unification. He walks out champion, so they're just waiting on that unification belt so the rest of the division can start kind of challenging. But if John Jones is basically like, then what?
Has this Mr. Aspinall man said directly he wants to fight John Jones?
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely called that John Jones.
Oh, he said this. Well, then he can't avoid it. Can't avoid it. So now you have to get to the point. If he wants this, now you have to be disrespectful and say he's ducking you to get him to come out and play.
Would you call him a word that starts with B and ends with H with a letter T in the middle?
Nope, not him. I would politely say that man is afraid and he is ducking me.
Oh yeah, like that would be better. Hey guys, I just want you to know that I just think John Jones is afraid to get in the ring with me.
Or you go all in if you know he's making a public appearance. You show up with a sign like a WWE match and be like, "Stop ducking me."
I would call him every day and see if he'd take the fight.
Do you remember the movie Head of State with Chris Rock? And he wanted to debate that man, and he followed him everywhere until he agreed to a debate.
Yeah. You think that's what he's got to do?
That's what he got to do. That's what he got to do. He got to harass him.
You can't don't be on no Conor McGregor type stuff. Conor, whenever you get back in the ring, brother, we worry. We wait.
Never. He drinking whiskey.
Speaking of some folks who might not see back in the ring in WWE world, they let go of Carlito and what's up? They let go of R-Truth.
Hunter, you will pay for your crimes.
They let go of the creator of Lil Jimmy.
And he gave us that banger on SmackDown Friday. Is that your son? You husky.
He really got y'all fooled, but I see right through you, Tamacho Ciampa. Talking in Triple H.
Like he made the 24/7 championship mean something. Like, remember he was telling to Brock, like, I'm gonna win the Rumble.
Oh yeah, he's like, no, I'm gonna win the Rumble, and I'm gonna come throw you over the top rope.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman. and then Paul Heyman was like, what? Wait, what? He was like, it doesn't even matter XYZ, XYZ, because if you win the Royal Rumble, then you got to go one-on-one with Brock Lesnar. And he was like, then R-Truth was like, well, let me make myself the first entrant to drop out of the Royal Rumble.
And then he gets into the women's Rumble and gets
oh yeah, and then it was like, wait a minute, where the guys at? Where the guys at? And here come Adam Pearce talking about, no, you are out, you are in, and then the girl who goes in gets eliminated immediately. So, oh man.
I just imagine if you're someone in that locker room that's like, well, shit, no one is safe.
Well, no one is safe. Triple H is letting it be known, hey, don't get too comfortable like the Beyonce song, niggas. You can't be got it. You can't be gone. Ain't that the worst? Ain't that the scariest thing, you know? Like when someone starts when at your job, when people start getting fired and you don't know if you're next or not, that's when you start doing work for real.
That's when they get the most productive version of me.
Yeah, I mean, same here. But damn, someone did it before this. I'll tell you what. Damn, someone did it before this. What do you think? What you excited for Money in the Bank?
Oh yeah.
You think it's gonna be good?
No, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna kind of miss R-Truth in the comedy. He was
yeah, like I said last week, he hit us with the, "Is that your son?"
That's your
husky.
Some other headlines. NCAA 26 has been announced for all you people like me who have done nothing for the past year but play college football games. It will. The new one is gonna be coming out. I'm really excited. Shout out to what's the two wide receivers name? Ryan Williams and Jeremiah. Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State?
Yep.
They're the cover athletes. And also, Danny, and I know Kyle's gonna like this one. We have a pretty cool Stanley Cup final matchup. So we have the Edmonton Oilers who beat the Dallas Stars, I believe.
Yeah, they won that in 6, right? 4-2.
Yep. And then we have the Florida Panthers is who the Edmonton Oilers will be matching up against in the Stanley Cup final. The Florida Panthers, I don't know if you remember, but they actually won the Stanley Cup last year by beating the Edmonton Oilers, and now we get a rematch of the Stanley Cup Finals from last year, which should be really, really exciting. Feels like the state of Florida is really trying to stake their claim in hockey before this run of the Florida Panthers. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning had a couple of good runs. So I'm excited. I'll be watching all of the Stanley Cup games starting tomorrow. So game 1, I believe, is tomorrow. And is it in? Is it in Edmonton? Yes, it is in Edmonton. It looks like so. Edmonton looks like they will be hosting it, and yeah, I'm excited. Kyle says he thinks the Oilers will win in 5. Kyle, I'm gonna let you know that I am going for. I'm always listen.
He's saying that Edmonton beat Dallas in 5.
Oh, he beat Dallas. Okay, I was going to say. Okay, so Kyle says the Oilers beat Dallas in 5. I am a fan of dynasties and repeats, so I am cheering for the Florida Panthers to win. I think the Florida Panthers will win.
I agree. Oh,
and six straight Stanley Cup Finals with a Florida.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's either the Tampa Bay Lightning or the Florida Panthers or who else?
While you look that up, as someone who's going to watch the Eagles go back to back, this would be a nice prep for that. So I'll take Florida.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, as a man who was about to watch the Eagles win back to back, It'll be a good precursor if Florida won back-to-back.
You know what's funny about knowing the Eagles are not going to win back-to-back titles is knowing that the city of Philadelphia and that fan base is slowly going to melt down when the Eagles start out looking like they might repeat, and the season just slowly gets away from them. But it's going to slowly get away from them because of a myriad of stupid reasons.
Yeah, it depends on if they don't repeat it. Let's see how it unfolds before I say anything crazy.
And y'all might lose to Dallas week 1.
No, that ain't happening. Did I tell you I'm going to the Eagles Commanders game the week before Christmas?
Okay, that's a good one. In Philly or in DC?
It's in DC.
It's a good one. That's gonna be a good one. I know you're not a fan of the stadium, but seeing Jaden Daniels live will be a good one, and obviously the divisional game is always fun.
And seeing Mr. IG Man in person is going to be great.
Do you think there's a world? Well, actually, no, I don't think there is. But I was hearing that. Do you think there's a world where they reshuffle the division to be more geographically based?
No. They should, but they can't because the rivalries are too deep. Like the NFC North rivalries are too deep. Like y'all's division is too deep. Like it makes sense for.
Well, ours wouldn't change that much. It would still be. I feel like it would still be. No, I'm saying the conference. Well, fuck.
Because in the NFC East, what you would do is you'd kick Dallas out and bring in Baltimore.
Yeah. Ugh. Baltimore. See, I'm gonna be honest with you. Baltimore would be in that division. I'd be so tight if I was Philly because I wouldn't want to play Baltimore twice a year.
Yeah, or if you're Dallas, you'd go to the AFC
South. Oh, I'm turned.
No, I'm saying
all I
AFC
do is play the Texans twice a year. I win the division.
In Jacksonville, and who else? It's Jacksonville, Indy, Houston. Who's the 4th team in that division? Titans.
Well, actually, here's the thing. I think the AFC South might be New Orleans.
Okay, so where would you put Dallas?
No, they'd be in the AFC South.
So so it'd be Dallas, New Orleans, Houston, Jacksonville, like that whole little strip.
No. Ooh, wait a minute.
Because then you can put Tampa Bay in there. Like you can put all the Florida teams in the conference.
I think all the Florida teams would be in a division.
Yeah, that's what I meant, in a division. So Miami, Tampa,
Jacksonville.
Did
you say Miami?
Yeah, I said Miami. So then you can pull in New Orleans.
I'm thinking about statewide though. So it's Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and then Missouri. So Kansas City would be right here. 2 states down would be Dallas, Houston, and then New Orleans. I think that could be a division. AFC South.
So then the NFC South would be Miami.
No, I think the NFC South would be. Yeah, because then it becomes like, what do you do about ATL, Carolina? What's the other one in that division? Saints and the Panthers. So the Panthers.
Yeah. Here, I'm pulling up a map right now.
NFL teams by map.
Yeah. Well, let me sure. Let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, I got a map right now. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, I'm having issues. You got one to share?
Yep.
All right.
All right. So let's do the easy one. The NFC North stays the fucking same. It doesn't even make sense to change the NFC North. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. NFC North is perfect. 100%.
Yeah, it doesn't even AFC East. Honestly, I think the AFC East stays the same. No, I think the AFC East would be the Jets, Giants,
Patriots, and Bills.
Yep. Yeah. The NFC East, I would say then it's Philly, Baltimore, Washington,
Pittsburgh?
Ugh.
You think-
Pittsburgh doesn't fit in that.
Okay, so you think Eagles, Baltimore, Washington. You want to keep going south?
I would take the Panthers.
Okay.
I'd put the Panthers in the NFC East.
Okay.
Eagles, Baltimore, DC, Carolina. That feels very.
It could work.
That feels like the black side of the NFL on the East Coast, and the AFC is like the white side of the East Coast.
I see where you're going, and I'm with you.
Right?
It would definitely be the counterpart to the Jets, Bills, Giants, Patriots.
Yeah, like at like a Jets Patriots game, it's all white, but at like a
you might hear some
Philly Baltimore game, that might be the blackest crowd like ever to watch a football game,
especially in Baltimore.
So the NFC South, I would honestly say it's the Dolphins, the Bucks, the Jags, and the Falcons.
Yeah, you got to go snatch the Falcons.
So I would take these four as the NFC South, and for the AFC South, I would put the Titans, the Cowboys, Saints, and Texans.
Yeah.
The AFC. So now it's Denver and it's fucking Kansas City where it gets weird because they're in the middle of bumfuck. Well, I don't want to say that they're in the middle of America.
Well, then,
so AFC North. So if it's the AFC North, because we've already have the AFC. We've already taken. Well, we've taken Baltimore out the AFC North. So I think you can still keep the Bengals, Browns, Steelers, and maybe the Colts.
Yeah, you would have to throw the Colts in the AFC North.
That's AFC North. That means the AFC West is still the Broncos, Chiefs,
Raiders, and Chargers. But see, that doesn't make sense. You could do the Raiders, Cardinals, Broncos, Chiefs.
Raiders, Cardinals,
Broncos, Chiefs would be the AFC West.
Yep, and then all the California teams plus Seattle would be the NFC West.
The whole West.
That's probably the best you could do because unless you put a team in Utah or New Mexico or Oklahoma, it ain't making no sense. And I can tell you right here, don't nobody want to travel to Utah to play football.
Hell no. See, this is what I'm talking about. So Kyle said AFC North, the Bengals, the Browns, the Eagles, and the Steelers.
That's
I don't like the feel of that. I like the idea of, like you said, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Commanders, and the Panthers.
Poor Panthers. They get stuck in the division with.
Well, they just need to get better. AFC South for Kyle is the Falcons, Jackson.
So we have the same one.
Yep. AFC West, same thing as we said, the Cardinals, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chiefs. In the C East, he has Baltimore. He's putting Detroit. See, that's too far away, though.
Wait.
Yes. I think the AFC North is perfect.
Yeah, I think the AFC North is.
NFC North. I think the NFC North is perfect.
I think the NFC North makes sense. They kind of embody the people in Detroit probably beef and relate to more with the people of Chicago, Minneapolis, and Green Bay than they would somebody.
Indeed. I think
the
NFC North is the only one that gets it right. NFC South, I think this is what we said, Dallas.
I think both Norths, the NFC and AFC North, just in terms of like how, like if you were to keep the NFC North, the AFC North exactly how it is right now, I'm not going to say distance-wise, I think it makes sense. It's just, I think it'd be more fun to have the Ravens in the NFC.
Agreed.
Good chat, man. Good chat. Oh, man. You got any fun weekend plans, man?
Not yet. Like I said, we just transitioned to new work hours at work, so I'm trying to go and get my sleep. I've been doing great the past 2 nights, so we'll see. Because I'll have a 3-day weekend for the whole summer, so I don't know. I might go see Mission Impossible on Friday. That's about it.
Listen, I ain't doing much. So how about my I usually have one of my DJ my residencies on Thursday. Thursday on Thursdays. They let me know that they're bringing in a new chef, so they're doing some training on Thursday, so they're closing the restaurant. So
you have a Thursday off.
Which
nice.
I think at first when I heard it, I was like, WTF, but then I thought about it and I was like, actually, that's just freed up a whole fucking Thursday. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Go do something fun. Treat yourself.
Shit, I might hit the booty club.
There you go.
Look, I also want to point out, because you and I are both Virginia heads, that a certain Virginia duo formally announced their newest album.
Oh, is this how you're gonna take us home?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you follow myself, the podcast, and Danny Ocean on socials. You can follow me at Los Demix. That's LOSDEEMIX. Follow Danny Ocean at Danny Ocean 41. Follow us across Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Follow Speak On It _pod on Instagram and on Twitter and TikTok. We do post on there as well. Danny, did I forget anything?
Nah, I think you got it. Full disclosure, I haven't listened to
This is
this album yet, so I need to get on it.
what album?
The Clips.
It hasn't released yet. They just released. They've only released one song. It's called Ace Trumpets. I believe the album comes out on the 3rd or the 11th of July. Let me have a look. Then yeah, it comes out the 11th of July. So this is
Okay.
Ace. This is Ace Trumpets. We're gonna play this out. Hold on before we go. So Kyle says, instead of moving the Browns, Colts, and Steelers to the AFC when the leagues merge, I think they should have put more recent teams in the AFC. Teams that came into existence in the 60s. Honestly, I think we are probably 3 to 5 years away from them realigning some things in conferences, because I think some of these conferences don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Boy, if they could just figure out a way to, listen, you know what I think they should do? You need to get Dallas out of the NFC East, but you have to find a way to make sure that they play the Eagles every year.
Yep.
That's how we do. This is Ace Trumpets. This is Clips. This is Pusha T and No Malice.
None.
He said he said he is he said his name is No Malice. Shout out Virginia. We always in the building. 2 up, 2
Forever.
down. 2 up, 2 down. Y'all make sure you have a great weekend.
We'll catch y'all next week.
Whoop.